This is the first hollow board for us, and so far the tests that we've done, Kane and Kai and Otis and the boys that race are feeling like it's giving them more energy efficiency once they're going and in the air. So for a long distance race, it's kind of the thing that's gonna make the difference. So in episode 3, we're gonna be focusing on the hollow technology, and it's something that we've been developing with Cobra, and they brought their knowledge to this. This is a high end for racing, stiff, fast, minimal swing weight, something that you can race and win.
This is the 8.4 Hollow Crossing. It's the board I used in the 2025 Koakai Championships, and it's the board I love to race on. The reason I chose the hollow construction is pretty simple. I tried the hollow and the regular construction back to back, and I found probably a 10 or 15% gain in my pumping efficiency. In a downwind race, especially a long downwind race, it's all a game of getting that energy from your legs into the water. And the first step, the first interface is the board. So the stiffness, the weight, everything is super important for translating your energy into the water. And the hollow construction does that better than anything else I've tried.
Having jumped into the hollow technology with Cobra and them developing it, I think it kind of opened our eyes to the potential to work on a foil with Cobra. So that's when the idea about a year ago came together to develop this board and the Solus together with them. So their knowledge, their molding, their access to different materials that are difficult to get, and how they put together what they do, that created this whole package that for us it's amazing. It's a race-winning foil and board, and it's at the highest of technology. We're heading to the hollow board section, so this is where they build all of our hollow boards. It's pretty cool, pretty magical little zone here. So our downwind racing boards are going to be hollow, and this is the zone that they're made in. They do kayaks, small boats, canoes, all the stuff that's kind of that molded hollow technology. And so really excited about that this year, as it's something new, really high performance, and really happy with the results so far.
Most of the product you see here is the hollow, and actually it's also the building where we did develop your hollow.
The hollow board that I tried on the weekend,
yeah.
Which is amazing. Yeah. And it's basically the same technology, just more suited for a downwind.
Yeah, it's not exactly like the canoe because we need to connect the foils to the board,
which is
so
huge.
we discussed before how you want it.
Yeah.
You were not looking much for the weight saving only, but also the way you can ride the board and get the feeling.
And the connection to the
and all
foil,
this.
so important. Here we are, we're in the molding hollow board section, and we're about to just check out a mold and kind of get a rough idea of what they do. So you can see here we have the Crossing 106 hollow, and these are the two pieces of the mold, and this is where they're going to do the layup with carbons and high density foams, and then put the two pieces together and create each side of the hollow board. So here we have all the patches all laid out to place in the mold for the hollow board. They prep all the patching and the layers of carbon that they're going to put into the mold. And if you come on down here, you can see they're laying it up. So yeah, they're wetting out. They already wet out the carbon on the table over here. You can see she's prepping the carbon back there. Then they'll come out, they'll roll this in here. They're putting all the inserts already in. There's little pegs that place that stuff. And then they're just squeegeeing everything to make sure that it's well wet out and it's put in the mold properly. And then they're going to put in the high density after that, and probably another layer of carbon. The iPad here is showing all the different specs that the board has, where what plug goes here, what plug goes there, you know, so just basically showing all this stuff to make sure that each one gets done. You know, these are guys that do this day in and day out, but they need a spec in order to know what to do. And so that's what this is about. And so basically they take pictures of every step, just in case there is ever a problem, that they can come back and they can reference the photos, see if there's some kind of issue that they can see. So it's incredible how much paperwork and organizational stuff that every board has in order to be produced. And that's the accountability that Cobra gives us, and the transparency that Cobra gives us, and that's what's so cool. I think that in this day and age of producing stuff in all transparency is key. That's how we can give them feedback to make a better board, and they can make a better board for us, and that they stay consistent and get us what we need. So on the part before, we saw they had the two pieces of the mold for the Crossing 106. So basically what they did is they built this shell that out of those two molds, two-piece shell. From here they take that shell and it's another mold, and they're putting the shell in another mold and basically putting our bulkheads that creates the stiffness. Once that's done, then they'll put the two pieces of the shell together, and that creates the shape, basically the finished board. And from there they can finish the board, paint it and all that. So this would be the second major step of making a hollow board. So if you look in the mold, the fin boxes are already in, and that was from the stage before. You know, the stage where we showed them laminating and putting all the layers in that pre-mold. The bulkheads are put in the space where you stand and are connected to the boxes in your front foot and a little further, but in front and behind there's nothing, it's air, it's hollow.
So after we tried the first prototype, we took a look at the bulkhead placement onto the deck and kind of revised it. So I had a few sessions on it, looked where my feet were, and we came up with 6 bulkheads onto the deck, and I spaced them all to sit right under your average foot position. So along with the 2 stringers that run down the middle, there's this super direct connection to the deck, to the bottom and to the tracks that I haven't found in any other board or any other construction.
You know, the feedback that we got from Kane and Kai and Otis was basically getting off the water was way more efficient because there's, you know, the energy you put in, it just pops off the water because it's so light. And then once you're in the air, the board, the energy that you put in when you're pumping and moving the board in any way, it takes your body less energy to do that. And so you can focus more on going fast and being efficient than focusing on trying to keep the thing going. We have the top part to that piece. So they'll take this and they're just gonna pop that right on. And there'll be another piece of the mold that goes right on top of that and kind of squishes it together and holds it all tight while it's getting hard and sticking together and going off. And then from there, we'll do all the finishing touches, you know, filling any little voids so that we can then paint it and get it to the customer. So come here, check this out. This is super cool. Spray booth, and we're about to spray the Dragonfly Crossing 106 hollow. And this is where the magic happens. They have the lights, they have the board all masked off, and they have all the specs for like the color we want and the transparency and all that. And so you can see here the stickers. You know, it's a design that we put. It's all cut on a laser machine and on a plotter, and then basically we stick this on the board, and now he'd just go ahead and spray the board, and then we'll pull the negatives, and that's the Crossing 106. The amount of paint that they're putting on is all predetermined because we are shooting for a weight on these boards. Anything you put on a board, it adds weight. So he's got a predetermined amount of paint that he mixed up, and we're looking for an opaqueness to the paint. So it's basically we want to see through to the rough surface underneath. So we're creating sort of this two-dimensional, three-dimensional look. So it gives it, you know, it gives it some dimension.